I didn't expect it to be something where I was like, whoa, I
Yeah.
can't. I cannot handle this. This is not something I need to be at or be in because it's not healthy from a mental state.
Virtual reality.
Brittany Cartwright, Danny and I, we love you. You know that we are obsessed with you. So we were so excited when we saw that you were cast on Special Forces. However, we were so devastated that it was only for one episode. How are you feeling about your experience, Britt?
I mean, obviously, I'm embarrassed that it was one episode, but like, I couldn't do it no more. It was so hard, and it was just God, in the time of my life that I was in at that moment, and leaving my son for as long as I had, and just different things like that that were happening to me. It was not aligning. I was not physically ready. I thought I was going to be mentally ready, but I wasn't. Like going into there, I was thinking, okay, I just left a very toxic relationship. I'm reliving this on national TV. I can handle anything. And the DS are doing their job. They're screaming at me, they're yelling at me, they're calling me names, they're doing all this. Instead of that motivating me, it triggered me. And I didn't expect that to happen. They're just doing their jobs, but I didn't expect it to be something where I was like, whoa, I
Yeah.
can't. I cannot handle this. This is not something I need to be at or be in because it's not healthy from a mental state. And I did not expect that to happen to me at
Well,
all.
I honestly feel like just from what you just said, because I know a lot of people, like you probably did too, a lot of people went on the show to learn something about themselves and to prove something about yourself. And I hope it's kind of a beautiful moment actually that you felt the triggering, felt your
Yeah.
past, and you were like, oh, now I know how to say goodbye to that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah, I think so too. I talked about it afterwards and everything, and it was just like it just wasn't the right thing for you. It wasn't the right thing. And I had committed to something months before and I really wanted to go. It just wasn't the time in my life where I was able to get past it. Right now, I'm in such a better headspace and I'm feeling amazing and I'm so happy and I feel like I'm in such a better place and I think maybe I could do better now, but honestly, it was hard.
You made it farther than we would.
It
Like,
was a freaking hard. And I faced my biggest fear jumping out of a helicopter. Helicopters are terrifying. Heights are the worst for me. So even though the physical stuff wasn't great, I conquered one of my biggest fears and I'm proud of that. So no matter what the haters say, I'm like, okay, let me see you do it. Let me see you rappel down. Even though I dangled for a minute, it wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. I still freaking did it. Like,
Oh,
wow.
like honestly, screw the haters, Brittany. Danny and I were talking earlier that you lasted a lot longer than we would have. We would have lasted maybe 7 minutes at most. But to Danny's point, it actually really is a beautiful thing that you were able to establish a boundary and say, no, I can't take people yelling at me like this. In a way, you were honestly like too used to it. Now, if those situations arise where you're, put in a situation where you're having a really intense argument, say with the person you are currently co-parenting with, do you feel like you are better equipped to handle those sorts of conversations and that, well, not a conversation, but that kind of behavior?
Oh, for 100%. I've learned so much about myself. I've grown so much within all of these things that I've gone through. And I think that like now I see things for what they are. Like if I'm fighting with someone, um, I'm not taking everything he says to me to heart.
mm.
Like before, everything like crushed me and went into my heart and my soul. And I was like, believed that stuff about me. And I don't do that anymore. And I think that's awesome.
Hell
I
yeah.
love that. And it's how you should, that's what you deserve. You know what I mean? That you're like, that's what they're working on. You don't need that because you know you're beautiful and you have a beautiful life and a beautiful soul and also a beautiful baby, which who you said you were so sad to have left. I know
Yeah.
we're kind of like, because Teresa and Gia, I'm like, oh, they got to do it. Of course, Gia's in her 20s, so she could go do it. But do you feel like that was kind of one of the main things to, or one of the other things too, that you're like, I really need to be with Cruz right now? Like, because
Yeah.
must be hard for you to even be separated from him for a little bit.
It's so hard because I am 100% the main parent. I do everything. I'm with him every single day, 24/7. And a lot of people don't realize, like, before we even get to the course, we're in Morocco for like at least 7 days. And I had never been away from my son more than 2 or 3 nights tops. And if I travel without him, it's for work or something. You know what I mean? So at that point, I had never been away from him for that long. So that was very difficult as well. Luckily, I have an amazing support system here, and that was able to, I knew that he was safe. I was FaceTiming him 20,000 times a day. I only made it on the course for one day, half a day, whatever the frick you want to call it. So I didn't like actually go a day with where I wasn't able to call him. But on the course, you can't call your loved ones. And I think that was, that's hard.
Have you
But
shown?
also, like, it is great that they got to have a support system, because maybe if I would have had Kristen Doty or a Zach Wickham or one of my friends on the course with me, they would have been like, bitch, you're not leaving. You are staying here. And maybe I would have stayed.
That's
Who knows?
Now that you say that, wow, imagining Kristen Doty in Special Forces would truly be that would be a wild time.
She would never. She told me she wouldn't even sign up for it. She's like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Because you and signed up and you went to it. She's like, Brittany, because I sent like clips and I was like, you guys are going to laugh at me. It's so awful, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, Brittany, we wouldn't even go on that show because it's so hard.
I was like, there are a few, like I feel Bravo Lebs who would do the show. Like even Paige DeSorbo was like, I could never in my entire life. I feel even on your friends at the Valley too. I feel so many of them would probably be like, no, thank you. Like what would my spray tan do? You know what I mean? Like you one who's like, let me try this and push yourself to something new.
Yeah, I wanted to go out of my comfort zone. I was at a time in my life where I was like, let me just say yes to trying everything, And I'm so proud of myself that I did it. I didn't make it far. Yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, whatever. I didn't look beautiful. It wasn't a show to look sexy and to look pretty and show my daily life. It was to push me out of my comfort zone. And I'm proud I did that.
Have you shown Cruz the footage of mommy jumping out of a helicopter, or do you think he's too young? Because there's also a part of me that would be like, look what mommy did. Like, look what I was doing.
I haven't showed him yet, but I feel like maybe I should do that today to see how he reacts. I think he would think it's cool because every time I live in LA, helicopters are around 24/7. So anytime a helicopter is around, he's like looking up like, oh my gosh, like he loves it. So yeah, I definitely need to show him. I haven't had time because, we work on so much other stuff and it hasn't really been like, let me show him this, because I was kind of embarrassed and the haters were hating, but I feel like I should show him.
Yeah, I feel cool.
Yeah, you don't have to listen to the haters because I mean, what you even did was so, even like the premise of it, like Kristen Doty told you, it is so terrifying, but I do like the idea that you, maybe with a pal and with like a better headspace and some time, you're down to go back.
Yeah, like if they ever did like a worst Special Forces character ever and then like had us all on the show together, maybe I would try again.
And we know you didn't have that much time with them after being in the Morocco, like getting your bearings and everything like that. But were you bonding with, like, vibing with a lot of the cast that you were with?
Yeah, so I was only there for a day, but everybody was, because even whenever we were in the hotel and stuff before, we didn't get to see each other. So we didn't know who was on the course until we got to the course. Wow. And I actually knew a lot of the people, which was cool. Randall Cobb played football for UK, Kentucky, where I'm from. So I knew him. The same time I lived in Lexington, like we hung out with each other. He was like, around my friends and everything like that. My mom sold him his first furniture set in Lexington for his first apartment. Like, so there was like different things. Sean and Andrew East, we had a job together for Estee Lauder. And so we worked a Stagecoach event together. I met Jesse James and Eric Decker, Teresa and Gio. It was kind of cool to go there and be like, oh my God, you're here. It was neat. But everybody was so nice. So nice.
Oh, I love it. Your castmate, Eva Marcille from Atlanta Housewives, when we interviewed her, she described you as a walking ray of sunshine, which is so accurate. You always bring such good energy to every situation. But speaking of Eva, one thing she told Danny and I is that while she was there for the entirety of the duration that she was in Morocco, she did not use the bathroom once. Like, she didn't do number 2 because apparently the bathroom situation there is really horrific. What did you make of the bathroom situation, Brittany?
Well, I was in a hotel until I went to the course and I was out for one day. So I never made it to base.
Would you pull an Eva, or would you be like, no, I gotta use the hole?
I don't think I could pull an Eva because my stomach doesn't work like that. I think that she's been a model for years, so she's like, I know how to handle this and it's fine. I am a country girl who likes to eat, and that's just not how my body would work.
Honestly, I'm so glad you never had to experience that because that is the one I don't think I would survive because of the stage fright alone. I don't think I could handle it because apparently you can like make eye contact with people while they're getting down to business, and that is not for me.
That's something that Tom Schwartz asks me every day. He's like, "What's the pooping situation like?" And I'm like,
Like I wouldn't know,
"Keep
baby.
asking me that."
Of course, that is the question Tom Schwartz has.
Yeah.
And speaking of eye contact, we interviewed DS Foxy, Brittany. I was like, I feel like I told him, I was like, if you were yelling at me, I think you're flirting with me. He's so attractive.
He's so cute.
He is. And it's crazy to like, because, I saw how they were on camera. And then as soon as I got cut, I got to see like his personality.
Nice.
And I was like, oh,
Well,
he's sweet as pie. I was like, I thought you were so terrifying, but you're actually cool.
No, same because he's literally like telling Teresa Giudice stupid to her face, and then he came onto our radio show, and like Danny and I were honestly like scared and nervous, and then he ended up being the nicest guy on the planet. I was like, how do you do this? This is so insane.
Yeah. Afterwards, I remember I was walking up and I was like, is this my walk of shame? Because I was going to have to go have a conversation with him. And he like was just like being funny and like chit chatting with me. And I was like, oh, you are a normal person.
Yeah. Nice to know. So Brittany, we were chatting about you recently with your good pal Sheena Shea at our VRT Awards event. And one thing she told us there is that she loves your new man. She's a big fan of him. How has he been reacting to your experience on the show?
Just very supportive. I had already told him that I didn't make it long, so he was like aware of all that stuff, but just very supportive and just like, don't listen to the haters. You did amazing. You tried, you did the best you can do. And he's like, you're a great person. So don't listen to people who ever would think otherwise.
And oh, it's so cute. And when we talked to Brianna, she said that now it's kind of reframed how she goes on dates and has because now she's like going hiking and everything like that. Does it make y'all's date night like get a little more, you're like, oh, let's get it a little more active, or you're like, no, I was in a helicopter. I need to be wined and dined at 5-star establishments from now on?
Oh, now it's like I was in a helicopter. I jumped out of a helicopter. I can, if I like am scared of anything, I'm like, but I jumped out of a helicopter. I can do this.
Oh. Wait, okay. Do you have something on the bucket list then that you want to like the next fear you want to face or something?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm thinking, let's take a helicopter to the islands. I'm like, let's be safe and take a boat or whatever. I'm not changing my mindset on that kind of stuff. But I am more down to try adventurous things, I think, because it's like I put myself out there. I was terrified. I did it. I survived, type thing.
Do you also feel like you are in a braver state of being with a partner who is so supportive and celebratory of you?
Yeah, it definitely feels good to have someone who is lifting me up instead of putting me down. It's amazing.
Oh, well, Brittany, you're amazing. I can't believe our 10 minutes with you has already passed.
I know. Sorry, it's so short.
It was great catching.
We love you and could talk to you all the time.
Thank you.
And we got to call it King of the Hill because you could be a voice actress.
Oh my God. I love that whenever you guys said that about me, because put me on any of those. King of the Hill, American Dad, Family Guy, like give me a voice acting job.
You really would be so good. You have the cadence and everything. It's like, honestly, we need it to happen.
We're putting it out there.
Let's do it, please.
One day you're jumping out of helicopters. Next day you're a voice actress. You can do it all.
Get it, Emmys, girl.
Yes, I am all around.